You can find CBD pretty much everywhere today. It's online, it's at gas stations, it's in shops. There are entire stores dedicated to it in some places. I mean, it seems like it is everywhere because it is. So how in the world can you know where you should buy CBD and what stores you can trust? I hope to help you weed through it all today so that you can know where to get it. And no, that was not a pun. Okay, maybe it was just a little bit. I'm hilarious, I know. Somebody grab that hook thing and pull me off the stage so we can go ahead and dive into this topic. Let's go. What's up, my friend? Welcome to the CBD and You podcast. And yes, you means you. And I believe you are here for a reason. I'm Lori, a Christian, a wife, a mama, and a midwife. And to put a little icing on the cake, my husband and I own a hemp farm in Tennessee. Girlfriend, I see it in your eyes and I feel it in the messages you send me. You are tired of waking up every day exhausted with aches and pains that you really thought you were too young for. And with all the stress and anxiety of the day, you're over it. Are you starting to wonder if this is really all life is? I hear you, and you are not alone. God did not design us to just survive. He designed us to thrive. So if you're ready to embrace this beautiful life God has given you by discovering some of His best gifts for His children, rewarm that coffee you forgot about in the microwave, and let's take a minute to pour back into you with a quick chat and some me time. Let's go. Have you gone and left us a review on Apple Podcasts yet? Your review may be the very next one read at this spot right here live on the podcast, like the one I'm going to read today from KM Page. The way that Apple Podcasts works, I don't always know the actual name. I just know whatever their little screen name was. So forgive me for not knowing your real name, but if this is you, you know it's you. The review says, I love hearing about CBD info from a fellow mama that gets the struggle of motherhood. Having a podcast with short episodes with info that's to the point helps me get the info I need, and then I can get back to wrangling up kids. Ain't that the truth? Living a natural lifestyle and finding things to help with pain relief brought me to researching CBD oil. We found Alara Ridge Farm when I wanted to find a CBD oil that was organic and processed with care. We love their products, and it definitely works better than any other CBD oil that I have tried through and it cut off, I think it's probably years, I'm going to guess, because I can read minds like that, right? Can't you? I tell you, I'm just on a roll with thinking that I'm funny today. Forgive me. At any rate, your review helps me find more people just like you. The reason that I specify Apple Podcasts is just because for some reason that one is the one that gets the most weight, and it's the one that pulls in the most people. So if you don't have an iPhone or an iPad or something, your mom or your brother or your grandma or your best friend, somebody has one. Grab their phone, say, hey, I need to borrow this for a second. Look up CBD and You. Hit that little 5-star thing on the rating section. Type me something in there quickly about what you think about the show. And then click submit or whatever the button says. And that will help me more than you know to meet more people and find more people just like you. So if you haven't done it yet, hit pause, go do that real quick, then come back, hit play, and we'll get on with it, okay? So if you are listening to this podcast, I know you're curious. You may be wondering about trying CBD. Maybe you've heard some of my other episodes and now you're ready, but now you don't know where to start or where to buy it. I know I've done an episode about where to start as far as choosing what to take or what to use, but now I'm talking about literally, physically, where do you go? We've talked about how to evaluate CBD in previous episodes, about how to know what's in your bottle. And I've linked those episodes down in the show notes today. If you missed those, you can go check them out. They're all linked down there today. And honestly, even if you have already listened to them, I recommend you go back and listen to them again. Maybe put it on double speed on your podcast app so it doesn't take you as long to get through it again. But go listen to them again and jot down notes so that you'll be ready to make your choice when you figure out where to go. Where do you go to get some CBD oil that is good? There are stores everywhere. There are entire stores dedicated just to CBD and hemp products. Some are legitimate. Some are pretty sketchy. There's also tons of websites, of course. You can find them all over. So what do you choose? Where do you choose to buy your CBD? Ultimately, that is up to you, but you need to make a good choice. And so today I want to give you some information to help you make that choice. First, I want to start with the beast, with Amazon. Amazon is this huge monster of a store. Of course, you know that. But did you know it's actually against Amazon's terms of services to sell CBD there? And yet, if you go right now and search, you're going to have all kinds of things that will come up in your results. Anybody that you see on there who is selling any kind of a CBD product, in order for them to have that for sale on there, they have chosen to work around the rules somehow. And because of that, you can't really know what you're getting. They use deceptive or maybe coded language. It's very hard to know what's exactly in the bottle because they're calling it things that it isn't to be able to get around the rules. I've told you in a previous episode, and I'm going to link this one down in the show notes as well, the difference between CBD oil, hemp seed oil, and hemp oil, and all the different things, what that all means. But see, on Amazon, that kind of goes out the window because they're using some of those terms inappropriately to try to get their product on there for sale. They're trying to be clever so that they don't get caught. So my opinion of that, it's just my opinion. You can do what you want, but maybe you shouldn't buy from people whose entire business model is based on deception. If they are willing to deceive Amazon in order to sell their product, even though Amazon has told them that they can't, what are they going to deceive you with? What are they hiding from you? It's just not good, not a good premise to start out with dishonesty from jump. Just my opinion. Take that for what you will. That knocks off Amazon as being a place that's probably a legitimate place to buy your CBD. Now, second, let's just look at the internet in general. Just all the websites that you can find on there when you do a search. I can't say that going this route is wrong, obviously, because that's how we sell our product. But I just need you to realize that anybody can have a website and they can sell anything. So how are you going to know what you're getting on these websites? I'm going to give you some things to look for and look at. Maybe you want to jot these down just so that you can have it as a go-by when you are evaluating a website that has things for sale. I actually just went through these steps a few minutes ago for a new customer of ours who had bought a product and was asking me some questions about it. And when I went to the website for the product that this came from, most of these questions were not answered. They were very vague. And when you see a website that's giving you vague answers, again, what are they hiding? Why are they being deceptive? First thing to look for is look for a site that shows you who they are, who they actually are, who's running the site, who is selling the products, who is creating the products. That's not something you're going to very often find, but some you will. So look for that About tab or the About section somewhere on there that's going to tell you about the company and about the people who are behind the company. There should be info, an About tab, like I mentioned. There should also be a contact tab or a way to contact them, whether it be a phone number, an email address, something like that, to where you can contact an actual human. You should be able to know where they source their products. That was one of the big ones that I noticed on the website I evaluated earlier, was it just said they had the top of the line US-based hemp. Well, that doesn't tell you anything at all, because you can call anything you want to. Where did their hemp actually come from? Who knows? Very few companies are actually growing and making their own products. Most are either buying from a company that resells it for them to relabel it as their own, or they are buying the raw goods and creating their products. Usually one company will do the growing and another company will do the making and the selling, and that's normal. I'm not saying that that's bad per se, but I am saying that if you can find a company who does the entire process from start to finish, that is a more trustworthy process, just simply because there's fewer moving parts and there's fewer places for things to not be on the up and up, shall we say. If you're evaluating a company that does not grow their own hemp, you need to know where they are getting that hemp, or if they're using an isolate, where they're getting that isolate, whatever they're using, you should be able to know where it comes from. Most sites are not going to tell you that. You should also be able to know what is in their products from the site. You should not have to buy it first to be able to know what's on there. You should be able to see the labels. They should maybe have information in their written descriptions about what ingredients are in there so that you can make a choice for yourself based on all of the ingredients before you make a purchase. You should also be able to tell where the company is located. A lot don't tell you. You can't even find an about page on their website. Now, that doesn't mean that you should necessarily have an exact street address where you can walk up on their front porch. I'm not saying that. It's a dangerous world, and a lot of companies don't want to tell you exactly where they are because people are crazy and they don't want you to just show up mad or do something crazy to them, and that's understandable. But you should know more about them than that they're just a random website. You should be able to get a general location and a way to be able to get in touch with them about the products. You should also know how they handle their returns. If you aren't satisfied, you should always look into that before. And if they do not have a return policy, that's a little bit of a warning sign. And lastly, you should be able to know what other people think. There should be reviews that you can go read. If they're a newer company, there may not be as many. So don't necessarily count them out right away. We were new at 1.2 and didn't have very many reviews. But they should be doing some legwork to get those reviews so that you can trust them, and they know that. If you don't see reviews on their website, that's a warning sign. That's a red flag because they could get the reviews if they really did the legwork. It's one of two things. Either they don't care or their product's really not that good, and so they don't have anything to put on there. Thankfully, our reviews, as you'll see on our website, are all 5 stars, and they are out of this world, and they are truthful. They tell you exactly what people are thinking because we don't censor. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. We don't censor them or anything. What people come and write is on there, and I just want you to know that we have worked hard to make sure that we have all those reviews there for you so you can make a good choice. So we've talked about Amazon. We've talked about online sites. Now let's talk about brick and mortar stores, which is kind of an old school term for actual physical stores you can go walk in. There's different kinds of these. There's the catch-all stores that are these hemp stores that have everything in them from all the different companies in one building. Then there's other places like how we are in a store here in Livingston called 1806 General Store. We're the only CBD company in there. It's just a restaurant mixed with a general store where we have our products because we're a local product and that particular company really likes to promote local people. There are so many brands though in most of these stores. In the catch-all stores, where you start to decide what to get or how you narrow it down is beyond me. There are so many things in there. There may be legitimate products there. I have no way of telling you for sure if there's good stuff or bad stuff in these stores. But just understand you're going to have to take the time to weed through it all. And you're going to have to take the principles from the episodes I've linked below and from this episode to figure out if this place and the place from which these products come is trustworthy. You're going to have to really work through all the products to find which ones are good. It's going to be better for you to do some research ahead of time. Most of these sites should have a website where you can do research at home ahead of time. If they don't, that's a red flag. Or if you just can't figure out what's there, that's going to be a red flag for you. When there's too many things and there's no way to figure it out, maybe you've got store associates just sitting there staring at you while you're trying to do some research, maybe on your phone trying to figure things out to where you don't feel comfortable taking the time, that's going to be a red flag. Not all products are created equal. We've talked about that a lot so far. And you need to take some extra time to make a good choice. But in these stores that have so many things that come from so many companies, like I said, I don't know where you start. I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I'm just saying it's a little overwhelming. And you're really going to have to work hard to be sure that you're making a good choice. So now what about Alara Ridge Farm? Our farm. We are just about as transparent as you can get. We have 2 websites to start off with. We have our regular Alera Ridge Farm page. That's the page you go to just kind of learn all the basics about us, see our pictures, read about us, read about who we are and where we come from and all that stuff. That website was our first one. It has all that information. But then there's also a store site, which is just shop.aleraridgefarm.com. And that's the site where you go when you're wanting to make a purchase. That one has the products, it has the reviews, it has the ingredients, it has the return policy, all the things I listed above that you need to be able to find about a store. You're going to find that on the store website. We also have a very lengthy frequently asked questions section, FAQ for short. That section is going to get you quick answers to all your basic questions. And that one, I actually wrote that website, has tons of information on it. So that's a place to start. You also have a way to contact me on that page so that if that doesn't answer all your questions and you have more questions, you can find me. Of course, you also see me here. Back to being transparent. You hear me talking here every week in your earbuds. If you are anywhere near us, we set up at several different markets throughout the year. It's been winter, obviously, so there haven't been many markets recently, but there's one coming up in April that we'll be at the Overton County Barn Sale or Spring Barn Sale. I can't remember how it was worded, but you can meet us out in the community. We're out and about. My vehicle has our company information on it. I have people stop me and ask me questions about it when we're out in town. There's all kinds of different ways to talk to, as they say, the horse's mouth, the one that's actually running the company, and get all your all your questions answered. I say all that to say there's a lot of good companies out there, I'm sure. But as I mentioned, there's very few who do the whole process themselves. And I believe you're here for a reason. I've had several of you email me that you have been thinking about trying CBD. Maybe you've been praying about it. Maybe you've had some questions or some uncertainties, and you just happen to find us. Well, see, I don't believe that you just happen to find us. I believe that God works things out for good, and I believe that He will direct you where you need to be. And on this day, you're sitting there listening to me on your iPad or your phone or your computer or whatever you're listening to, maybe YouTube, wherever you found me. And you're hearing all the reasons why you know that you can trust us. You have found the right company. We do it all. Just to review in case you've missed it and all the other times I've said it. We start with the seeds, the hemp seeds. We grow the plants ourselves from seed. We start them ourselves. We don't buy the plants. We actually do the whole process from the very beginning. Then we harvest it all by hand at the end of the season. Andrew, my husband, does all of that. He literally goes down there with his hands. We don't have the big machines. We don't have all of that. He does it manually. And really, the best CBD out there is not it's not harvested by machines, because you can't really do that for this type of a product. It's all manual. And we do it ourselves. So Andrew will go down there manually. He'll cut the plants. He hangs them to dry. He makes sure they're all dried properly and then stored properly. Then he makes each batch. He processes those hemp flowers into the hemp extract himself in small batches by hand. Again, no big machines. We do it by hand because that's the way that you get the best products. He then uses what he produces there to make the CBD oil. And then I take the extract and I make the topicals. Not in some other country, not in some unknown place, but in Tennessee, by our hands. We do it all. It's all us in America. You don't have to worry where your stuff comes from. It's as homegrown as it gets. We work hard to build this trust with you, to get to know you, so that you can feel comfortable knowing that you're getting a product that will actually help you. And as you can see in our reviews, it actually helps. It actually works. There's people all over this country now who are enjoying the benefits of CBD oil that came out of the field right there out in front of me that I can see as I record this for you. I'm so excited for you to be able to try our products as well. Yes, there's a bajillion companies out there, but how many do you get to talk to one-on-one like you get to right here with me? Just today, I received an email. Actually, the email came in a couple of days ago at the same time that I got an order from a new customer, as I briefly alluded to earlier. She emailed me. She asked me some questions. I responded to her. She responded back to me. I responded back to her. She responded back to me. I think we've been back and forth today maybe 4 or 5 times. And she's had all of her questions answered directly from the person that you're hearing right now. And you can have that too. If you don't understand, if you still have questions after you've read our frequently asked questions section, after you've listened to all these episodes so far, if you still have questions, that's what I'm here for. I'm happy to help you make a good choice. Whatever the choice is best for you, I'm happy to direct you in what direction you need to be in based on what you've got going on. That's what I'm here for. And as I've been telling you for the last several weeks, you have the opportunity to try our products at 20% off for a limited time. So if you're ready to give Alara Ridge Farm CBD a try, now's the time to get on your phone or your iPad or your computer or whatever and type in bit.ly/CBD and you show. All one word, CBDANDYOU show. Put all that in your search bar, hit enter, and it's going to take you to our website. It's going to put the code in your cart, CBD and you. That's the promo code that's going to take 20% off your cart. You're going to get 20% off of every single thing that you want to try. Everything. There's no limit. So if you put in $20 worth of stuff or if you put in $200 worth of stuff, you're getting 20% off no matter what. And guess what else? You're also going to get free shipping. And my shipping is really fast. Unless you live in Alaska or something, you're probably going to get your order within 2 or 3 days. If your order comes in the morning, I usually ship same day, assuming it's a day that the mail runs. It's quick. It's free. What more could you ask for, right? So go on over there now, bit.ly/CBD and you show, fill your cart up, check out, and get started. The only thing you have to lose is your pain or your anxiety or your sleeplessness. So why not give it a try? I'm happy to answer any questions you still have. Shoot me an email at info@alararidgefarm.com. If you have any episodes that I haven't hit on yet, if you got things that you want to know, let's say you've got some question in your head, just burning question that you really want to know that you think would be a good episode idea, I would love for you to go leave me a message on SpeakPipe. It's just speakpipe.com/CBD and you. It's kind of like a little voicemail box. And if you go over there and leave me a message, you might hear your own voice on here because I might just play it. So be sure to go over there and leave that. And if that freaks you out and you're like, nope, don't want to hear my voice on here, then just shoot me an email and I will address it that way. I just want to make sure that I'm addressing what you need to know and what your wants are and what your needs are and the things that are burning questions for you so that I can address them for you so that you don't have to go on through the rest of your life with pain and sleeplessness and inflammation and anxiety and all the things that I know that you're dealing with. I want you to get your worries addressed so that you can go ahead and give us a try and you can put those worries behind you. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me today, and I can't wait to see you right back here next week. Whoa, wait, stop. I need your help. Before you take off, if this podcast has blessed you in any way, or if you learned something, could you take 1 minute and leave me a written review over on Apple Podcasts? That's the absolute best way you can thank me. I love hearing how what I've learned on my journey has helped you on yours. Remember that the word says every good gift and every perfect gift is from above. CBD is one of them, but there are so many more. Cling to him and you will never go wrong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you back here in a few days.